Alright, so sorry to any hype fans. He's busy.
He's
so,
still trapped somewhere in the
didn't
time
pan out
stream.
well.
Yeah.
So
And let's not kid ourselves. He was not the least bit interested in this game in the first place, so he's not really missing out in the long run.
So speaking of other individuals who I'm disappointed in right now, Mr. Eckert.
We gotta ask him some questions about
explaining to
sex,
do.
drugs, and moida.
Most especially the Moida part.
Or attempted moida in his case.
I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
Truly sorry.
I'm sorry for trying to kill you.
Our daughter.
Like, I mean, I don't know, like, I understand what's happening here. So apparently someone was blackmailing him because they knew where Dana was or whatever, but I don't know. It's like...
So...
Like, I don't know, it'd be one okay.
He just
Okay, so there's a
blindly
second
complied
person.
to he just blindly complied to a ransom attack.
But I guess it's just like, it'd be one thing. It was like, I'm sorry, I set you up to be embarrassed at the company picnic, or I'm very sorry. It wasn't my. I tried to ruin your date with so and so because I was jealous. Here it's, I'm sorry, I tried to push you off of a third story. I'm sorry, I did push you off of a 3-story freaking clock tower. And that the only, I guess it was the lighthouse, but regardless, like, this was not attempted murder. I don't know why. But regardless, like, this wasn't attempted murder. This was, in the sense of, like, as far as he knows, he did push me off of that ledge, and if I didn't know about it, thanks to time travel, he would have murdered me.
I mean, he's probably just. I mean, he's probably just thinking to himself, God bless him for actually surviving, because I would not have been able to put up with that blood on my hands.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Eckert. You're lucky there's no police station in town. Or fire
Yeah.
department.
Man, when they said this town was built on a budget, they weren't kidding. Also, apparently this comb reassures him somehow. Not like he'll get much use out of it, but he claims that this comb allows him to think rationally once more. Ike, being the stupid doofus he is, will accept this and will not press any charges against the man.
I mean, how would he press any charges against the man? There's no police station!
Crap, I keep forgetting about that damn budget.
That and where's the proof?
Where's the police station? If there
I could
even
just
is
go-
one.
Take them all back in time with me.
Yes.
Yeah, just take him back in time and let him get lost for a bit.
He just comes, he just turns around. I want 3 of the cats by
I
tomorrow.
want 3 more cats.
I don't know why I got very intense there, but
And you know, this probably would have had a little more weight to the whole situation if, you know, we actually had more screen time with Dana than like 2 fucking minutes.
speaking of Dana,
What?
She somehow was able to afford a portrait back in those days.
yeah, so this is where I guess a big plot twist was supposed to happen. Dana, we now see a painting of Dana painted by that famous painter we keep hearing names about here and there, and she's holding the Philosopher's Stone.
I don't remember seeing.
Which must mean that at some point in that time period, she still had that red Philosopher's Stone thing
Dana?
in order to be, you know, having a painting, created.
I
of
mean,
her.
I think she was in the middle of giving it to us until we, you know, warped through time and got separated.
Yep, back into ye old 1500s. Which, speaking of which,
Wait a
let
sec.
me quickly ask him about something.
Wait, but what happened to the Philosopher's Stone that we had? Didn't we give it to the Alchemist?
No.
We never had
no,
it.
Did we? Wait, did we have it?
What?
No, we never had it.
I thought
Yeah, no,
we
he
had
got
it.
mad at us and told.
No, Dana was about to give it to us until, you know, again, we time warped.
And when we were talking about the Alchemist earlier, I thought he got mad at us and told us to leave, which is why we had to have Margaret give us the antidote instead.
We just told him that we knew it was a thing and that it was probably still around. We just didn't have it on our person.
Yeah. So it's still in the 1500s with Dana, and meanwhile, don't worry, Mr. Eckert, I'm just gonna.
Whoop.
Uh-oh. There
Clumsy
goes my
elf.
Fabergé fortune.
Also, why would you dig in your pocket for a book? Like,
That's
yeah,
a
it must have some
watch.
seriously big pockets.
You don't ever underestimate the size of my pockets, James.
This strange guy in my high school class gave me one that looked just like it.
This is
The
starting to
Fabergé
feel like a
geek?
Hallmark movie.
Friendship or something like that.
I mean, it may as well be, as far as we're concerned.
I mean, acting-wise and writing-wise, you are 100% on the mark, Icky. I have seen a couple Hallmark movies more than I care to admit, and you know, it's also this music in the background. This music sounds very Hallmark movie.
Or like General Hospital.
Well, it's a small world.
I would say what a time for small talk, but I mean, we technically all have all the time in the world, so fuck it.
We have all the world in the world.
Always mumbling what he said was
The world in the palm of his hands. Oh no, wait, that's Crash the Huge Adventure. Never mind.
No, I was thinking,
Sorry,
I have no mouth and I must scream.
Find out who's got it in for you. If there's
I keep forgetting that that's an actual piece of fiction.
It's wacky.
Yep. It was a weird time.
Like, I figured it was just some random ass quote that was brought up here at some point or another.
Nope.
watch yourself out there.
We
It was
know
also
our
a point-and-click
stuff.
adventure game.
Well, on the positive side, at least Mr. Eckert isn't going to go out and go out in the hunt for us
Again.
anymore.
Nah, he's no longer going to buy into that air of superstition of blackmailing. Alright, fortune teller. I need to know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing, because I have no idea where to find Dana. Last time I went out into the 1500s, she just...
I made sure to check the kitchen, but she wasn't there.
Maybe you should just forget about this whole adventure and go home, I could. Because at this point, there's nothing really gunning for Ike. As far as we're
Well,
aware.
The shape of your destiny can change.
Yeah, we're aware. We are at the point now where we are now at the point where it's time to start figuring out our endings, because we are in the penultimate chapter.
Are we now?
Yep.
So
must be a really long chapter if we still have like what 3 parts left.
I mean, she's saying
Well,
that we're...
it is the longest one, because this is again where all the big cutscenes like finales and stuff happen.
I mean,
I
she's
thought,
saying
I thought we
that
were past the expository part of the commentary.
supposedly we're
Yes,
gonna
we
die
were,
at
but
4:30
now-
in the morning, so...
We're past the exposition, but now we're at the part of we got to resolve some conflicts, like the fact that we haven't spoken to Dana once since we brought her back with us into the 1500s.
Literally, like since part 2, I want to say.
Didn't 4 years pass at this point between the point where Dana originally arrived and... You know what? I don't even
I
know
think
anymore.
yeah, I think you're right, because you're right, because it had to have been tied to the time when the house caught on fire and. Oh
Which
no!
house?
It's the ancestor of the crazy Eggman.
Oh no.
Well,
Is this? Let me guess. We're gonna try and fill in this time loop as well.
thanks.
If not that, then at the very least, I guess we're going to.
That's it. It's damn good.
I don't
coffee.
know. Also, I'm gonna be honest. In a place that's as wintry as this place, I don't know the logistics of an outdoor bar working too well out here.
The last
Yeah.
place I ever expected to find a Twin Peaks quote was this game.
Sorry, but I'm a little short on time.
Damn good coffee.
Damn good coffee.
Okay then, you can just leave the money there.
Is it available? Is that available on any streaming services right now?
You could buy all the episodes on
for the
YouTube.
coffee.
Oh,
You mean it wasn't on the
oops.
house?
Of course
Huh?
not.
We
Now, wait a
goofed.
sec. Don't tell
What
me
kind
you
of
thought I
wacky?
cared
Oh
too.
crap! Ruck become Tom Nooked.
At least for this time.
Wait, so he just gave us a cup of coffee without even asking for payment in advance?
Yeah, no, he just said
Yeah.
straight up like, but
Well,
hey, look.
It's not money, but maybe you'll take this instead.
And then he just
Thankfully-
clobbers him with a bottle of wine.
I mean, you could probably sell that for probably a lot more than what that coffee's worth.
You sure about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully for Ike, the guy's a sucker. Like, Ike is this incredible, like, phenomenon of a man where it just happens that everybody around him is slightly dumber than he is, hence how he's able to get away with all this.
It's like this whole universe was made just for Ike.
Talk to you later.
All
I
right.
mean, who's to say that we're not in some sort of pocket dimension which is revolving around this blonde idiot?
Not the usual
The
round
Push show.
Kind of oval.
Yeah.
Very nice. Looks like I got a real good deal.
That
And
sucker
thus
doesn't
we
realize
developed-
that this is 24 carat.
And so we've created we fulfilled yet another time loop.
Yep, now we'll know for sure that all this time he will love eggs, and we'll be able to see his descendant going, why do I have all these eggs? It's like, because of damn good coffee.
Where did these eggs come from? They couldn't have been made from a chicken or a bird.
It would have been far too painful for them to lay an exquisite thing. Okay, let's go to the snowy time.
Oh, jeez, I probably should have put on a thicker coat.
Yeah.
Okay, because there is some
God,
information
it's
that we can.
stark white.
Because there is still some information we could glean. Not from here, actually. I
Oh.
realized I went to the wrong time.
We goofed.
Back to the 1500s I go. I got here a little early. I forgot that we do need to actually talk to Dana and the Redstone, and then we can come here because I was putting so much emphasis on this because it is important to getting Ending A that you take a look at the snowy place. But for now, let's see if we can track down Dana.
And she's so confounded as to why Ikush is suddenly covered in snow.
Oh yeah, I should ask about that picture.
Yes,
Ooh.
the picture the picture you saw in the museum library. It was a library. Why was there a whatever? The
How is there a
Photoshop
painting in
is-
a library?
I don't get it.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
the
it sells the aesthetic.
What aesthetic? It's a building
In any
block
case,
town, James, man.
I know. In any case, the Photoshop's not too far. It's literally right here.
The Photoshop.
And as soon as we
Oh.
and as soon as we enter
Paper vines.
inside,
Knock, knock.
stick 'em up. I got a cell phone.
I will ensnare your soul into... Wait,
Oh, hello.
Hey, Dana.
what happened to
Hey,
your
this-
color?
You're from that.
That's awkward.
I was worried about where you were.
What happened to her?
I was pretty shook up too.
For about 5 years, I kind of left you here to live in probably one of the worst time periods ever for a woman, and of that, I am sorry.
I'm glad you're okay.
That's no
sorry you got
problem.
mixed up in all this.
Well, you did say you're really sorry.
I was scared to
That was a really weird first date.
But it only
Is she
took me a
ever
bit to
counted
figure
as
out
like
that
a
it was
love
the same
interest in
place.
any of the time
I started thinking
endings?
that maybe it was just a
I-
different
Yes,
world.
there actually is slightly.
The buildings and the
Well,
streets are almost exactly the same,
you know,
so
I guess I'll talk about this.
Wow.
So, fun fact: there's a little bit of a twist that happened here. You ready?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Margaret is not our ancestor.
She
Oh,
what?
Well, it took a while to get used to.
Then
Things only fell into place
okay,
quickly.
so what
So
relevance
techni-
does
so
she
then-
have to this plot now?
then technically we lied.
Margaret is because well, here's the I guess the big
I'm
catch the big
sorry.
catch is
I looked for you
we
too,
assumed
but I didn't
that
know
Margaret
you
was
were.
our ancestor because we found her in this time period.
Well, no
And
use
she
worrying
was smart
about
enough,
what's
or
done.
at least
It's been
aware
4
enough to
years
understand the
after all.
concept of time travel.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would be.
So,
You do look more, well, I don't know, mature, come to think
So
of it.
basically,
What do you mean?
here's the part where this gets a little wacky.
Another
Hold
Who
up,
else did we
hold up,
bring?
hold
Who
up,
else?
hold
Who? What's the name of the other woman that we brought into the 1500s with us?
Dana?
Dana?
But now, I'm a
She's
student
our
of the
ancestor.
Squad's manor.
Oh.
I feel so content
It was
to be
straight
here.
up one of those things that I guess I'll say in one of the bad endings, you bring Dana back with you into the future, therefore never leaving her in the past, and Ike kind of gets Marty McFly to fades away kind of thing as a result.
Oh,
good.
This
Oops.
whole time we were
I see.
confused. Dana was the ancestor that we had to leave in this past. Otherwise, we would
Then-
never be born.
Hold the phone.
I ended up taking
She was technically born in what, the 1980s or whatever?
Is you?
And then
Yeah.
she was brought over here.
I don't even start
And
work
then-
Not
I just came over today to
quite.
work out the schedule.
You're all so basically there's something that I believe Homunculus will explain to us, but I'll say that
So
for
what
right
you're
now,
telling us is this is not the baby.
Here to take me back?
this was not
You know
the
how
baby.
to, don't
Although
you?
she does kind
Sure.
regardless,
You want
I'm
to?
sure they're definitely going to
Go back
explain
to
it a
our
bit
own
later, but all I'll say is that it
I
is
did,
tied
you know.
to why
Of
we
course I
saw
wanted to.
Homunculus
anymore.
carrying a baby back in the snowy time.
Anymore?
So, we're just straight up going to leave her
I
back
have no
here.
one there. No parents.
As she's saying right here, she had nothing
So
in the
I'll be
future
okay
besides
here.
that dead-end
No one
coffee
worry
shop
about
job.
me.
Then
No one expected.
who the
anything
fuck is
except
Mr.
for-
Eckert?
Just a random guy as far as we know.
Well, Miss Record is tied to this plot, and for all we know, maybe his baby was this Dana. I don't know. I'll admit it's been a little while, but I'm just
How
going
many
off of, like,
Danas are there in this world?
Too many.
Dana.
But for now, so at this point right here, depending on what ending you were in, like when you were telling Margaret about your ancestry or not, it is actually possible to, at this moment, that's why I quickly cut to black, it would have been possible for us to try and convince Dana to come back to the future with us, but because we're locked into the, endings A through C, she just outright shuts down any, chance of that and will just say, hey, listen, I just want to stay here, it's all good.
So now she's completely displaced from her time of origin.
The stone.
It's the red stone from that day.
The Stone of Gloan.
The stone of bone.
That stone's look. Do you mind if I ask you to give that to
I know I
me?
pretty much
Yes,
screwed
I
over your
do,
life,
Ike.
but let's. Even though I definitely like displaced you through time, I think you owe me. It's like what?
If it weren't for the stone,
Now you owe me a green stone, Mr. Cush.
never would have ended up right
I mean, he could have just said, "Listen, I owe a favor, and it revolves around that red stone that I gave you the other day.
But that's okay.
Is it okay if I have it back, just so I can, you know, tie up that loose end?"
See you again.
Trust me, there's a lot of crap I've
Here you
done
go.
in my life, Dana, and I would not
Thanks,
like to
Dana.
repeat that again.
What are you gonna do now?
What she just like starts? What she just falls to the ground doing that? Like
There's
she has
someone
she's
you
never
know
thought that
I
far
work
ahead.
with
No, she devolves into
at the
Whitey
manor house where I'm being looked after.
and has a seizure.
He and I, well,
Oh,
we're going to
sorry,
start
Ike.
life
She's
together
found
someday,
another.
so
Oh boy. Shut
Don't worry, Ike.
down.
It'll all work out. It'll all work out in the end.
I'm really sorry.
Yep.
Ike.
Won't you regret it?
Don't.
No.
What kind of question is
It's
that?
all
Like,
right.
let her live her
Okay.
life, be it 300 years
take
in the
care,
past or not.
Something about this whole
You too, Ike.
plot twist feels very, very wrong.
What, the fact that we almost dated our great grandmother?
No, the fact that we just brought her back here, left her here for 4 years, and the moment we come back 4 years later,
Come on in.
she's just
You do
a
like to
completely
share
different
your
person.
Don't
Oh yeah, I mean, 4 years can change this person. I agree. I 100% agree that Ike should have had maybe a little more consequences for straight up messing with someone's life like that. But granted, I also think Mr. Eckert should have faced more consequences for trying to take a life multiple times. And depending on how far you believe in alternate universes, Mr. Eckert did succeed in killing a man multiple times in a day.
You have by chance the Philosopher's Stone?
Yo.
So what of it?
Yes. Is this it?
I hope this is what you were looking for, because I'd look real fucking stupid right now if it wasn't the thing you were looking
That's the only
for.
stone I know that fits the bill.
Agreed.
This is just a Jolly Rancher, you
In
dope!
the name of heaven,
Oh,
shall start the
I
preparations for the
I
experiment
thought it
right
was
now.
I thought it was a freaking Mike and Ike.
It's all right. It doesn't matter if this is not the truth.
Confidently, I don't know what either of those are, but for somehow I just felt like blurting them out.
And then as it turns out, this alchemist was the original time traveler from like the year 2045. So it's why he understands what a ring pop is.
Iki,
Yeah?
have a drink. There's something we might want to tell you later.
I have a bottle of water right here. I could take a swig.
Oh no. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh,
What is
it's
it?
gonna lead to that explosion.
that experiment's dangerous.
That may be, but this is something I want to do.
So you want to die, old man?
It's all I have left to live for.
What about your kids?
Now, by then, the experiment should yield fruit. I will be able to show you the homunculus.
The homunculus.
Oh, shit.
Science
The
will prove
homunculus.
itself capable of creating life. How I wish she could have been here, Helena.
Oh.
So he's
Right,
trying to
exactly.
create an homunculus.
See you in
this
10
thing.
days, then.
Yep, in order to wish for either eternal life
Could you keep
or
this a secret
to
from
bring
Hugo
back
and
his
Margaret?
wife Helena.
I want to say it's the latter.
Knowing
Yeah.
Hugo, if he learns of this, he might do something like attempt to bring Helena back from the
Oh, that would be very reckless. He
Well,
should
I
not
do.
that.
I do hope that he isn't listening into this right now.
Let's keep that in mind for later.
Do we have to?
If I manage to find
Can we just
I mean,
write
we're-
down one of those loaves of bread that looks like books?
I shall commit all records of my research to the
I mean, honestly, Iki, that's part of the. That's one of those things I'm kind of grateful is sort of dead in this era of gaming. Because writing down the answer to that one puzzle in Neverhood is like torture.
Torture.
Very much.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
He has that Anki look.
Hey, did you manage to see Father?
Uh-huh. What is it?
I'm what's the matter with Father?
Well,
anyway?
he's just
Why
obsessed.
won't he
Obsessed
take
is
a
all.
bath?
Laboratory lately.
He's been down
When I
there for
went in the other
days.
day, he got really angry
Well,
with
there's
me.
probably.
And
Did
ever
you ever think that
since,
there's perhaps a connected
there's
bathroom to
some
the
secret
laboratory?
in there. He
Or maybe he's going to be the one to
just
invent the
knows.
bathtub.
Or the turlet.
Madman.
The turlet.
Hey,
Real quick, I forgot if I already asked. What ending did
man.
SGB go for
you
in
know,
their
with
playthrough?
tools from the future and
Ending
stuff?
B.
Of course
B.
not.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
Okay, so there's another ending that I can
I
describe to you
definitely asked
guys
for your help if
later
I were
that
father.
does actually try to explain a lot.
Then I
That's
could
like
make a machine to move through time.
again, depending on
Like the
how
one
you
showed me
feel
before,
about alternate
I sort of
universes and
understood how it
parallel,
works in a way.
timelines.
Wow, really?
Technically, all the
I'm
endings were
impressed.
possible, and there's a lot
Well,
to
I
it. I don't
said
know. There's a whole
sort of.
thing.
Wait a
Anyway,
second.
I'm
So,
more interested in
Hugo
what
right
I'm
here is
working on
coming
right
out
now.
with this whole bombshell that just by looking at
I'm sure
Ike
Father
using
will
the
tell us
digipad,
what
that he was able to make a rudimentary time machine himself.
I don't know about that.
There's something that he'll when he looks at notes and stuff, and oh yeah, what's up?
I'm going to start another experiment, but this one will be very dangerous.
Yes,
So I want
it's
you
the
to
experiment
stay
that will
with
create the
me for a
homunculus.
while.
I mean,
I thought it was the
I mean-
experiment that was just going to explode the house.
I mean, good on him for letting his kids know ahead of time.
I'll send word and
So yeah, we now know that they survived whatever is
to
about to
your
happen.
relatives' homes or anywhere else you like. That's all.
Can I help with the experiment?
No, you fool.
No.
I've told you several times, I don't even trust you to be in the kitchen by yourself, and you're
I can't
going to
even
ask
let
me a
you
silly
tie your
question
own
like
shoes,
that.
Hugo.
We have shoelaces?
I mean, they have
The
shoes.
madman.
do they not?
They have
Oh,
boots.
For Pete's sake. What is he think he's doing,
But I guess
huh?
Pete's still a thing.
Man, what a jerk.
Come on. Where should we go?
Well, no matter. We know how this is going to end for Mr. Wagner, so unfortunately
So,
that's going to
we're
have
just
to
going
be
to
the end
do
for
it?
him.
Oh
Do
well.
we have a choice?
It's nice knowing him, I suppose.
But
It's only for a little while. Let's go.
For now, we've fulfilled our destiny. We've given him the Philosopher's Stone, so now he can create
I'll
that
go now.
experiment.
Of course.
Sorry
but
for
we already
barging
know
into
the
your
results
lives
of
like
that.
this.
Always in the middle of something.
Why can't we just tell...
see you soon, okay?
I don't know anymore. Why can't we just take the stone back from him, or go back in time to the point before we gave him the stone?
I mean, you're not wrong. None of this is wrong. The game is wrong. I don't know. It's just that it's like it just doesn't make sense how like to me it just doesn't make sense how like clearly like we could be doing all these things and Ike cannot make the excuse of I don't want to mess up with the time stream. You've already done so much.
I mean, like we said before, MGS2 pretty much took all the best writing staff Konami had and left this game with the scraps.
Yeah.
Say the line, Bubsy.
So stay tuned for the second to last part. This is going to be where we will learn the identity of the murderer. Or attempting
What
murderer.
could possibly go wrong?
Bye.